Good evening, you're now with me, Radzi Ahmad for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. Sarawak Premier Abang Johari says the safeguarding of Sarawak's rights and interests in oil and gas exploration in the region is guided by 5 laws. Meanwhile, Sarawak will partner up with Thai oil and gas company PTTEP to jointly explore the sour gas initiative in the region. And BATANG SARIBAS 2 bridge contractor given 14 days to solve issues related to manpower and machinery on site. The safeguarding of Sarawak's rights and interests in oil and gas exploration in the region is guided by 5 laws. Sarawak Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg stressed that the state government has no intention of taking over or competing with Petroleum Nasional Berhad, Petronas, but instead works closely with the national oil company within the industry.
Among the 5 laws highlighted by Abang Johari are the Sarawak Land Code, which allows Sarawak to oversee all matters related to land, the continental shelf and the carbon storage, as well as the Oil Mining Ordinance, OMO 1958, which regulates oil and gas mining activities in the region.
Number 3, we have Gas Distribution Ordinance. That's where aggregator comes in. We become the authority to aggregate our gas distribution. So anybody who wants to do that, knock our door first. It is based on law, non-controversial. It's law number 3. Number 4 is federal constitution, just like the sales tax we impose. It is our right within the federal constitution. Number 5, Malaysian agreement. So in other words, we don't take people's rights. We manage based on our rights. Kita pun tahu juga, kita tak boleh ngambil hak orang lain, berdosa. Kalau orang lain punya hak, dia punya hak. Tapi kalau hak kita, kita urus hak kita. Siapa ngambil hak kita, dia berdosa.
He spoke at the 2024 appreciation ceremony for Sarawak Vendor Corporation in the oil and gas industry in Kuching earlier today. In this context, Abang Johari reiterated that the Sarawak government remains committed to collaborating with Petronas in advancing carbon capture, utilization and storage CCUS initiatives in Sarawak.
And a lot of rumors saying that, wah, ini Sarawak macam-macam. Dia akan kacau Petronas. Dia nak ambil alih Petronas. I tell you, Sarawak position is clear. We want to participate actively in our oil and gas and a partner to Petronas. We are not there to deprive Petronas because, as you know, ada nanti angok-angok aja dan Sarawak melihat aja. So what we do, we tidak melihat, we participate and work together with Petronas, the national oil company, and we are just a state oil company, but at the same time we become a partner.
Meanwhile, Abang Johari said Sarawak will partner up with Thailand-based oil and gas company PTTEP to jointly explore the sour gas initiative in the region. He said the company will cooperate with Petroleum Nasional Berhad, Petronas and Shell to realize this initiative, which aims to promote the use of green energy in the region. Sour gas is a natural gas or any other gas containing a significant amount of hydrogen sulfide or H2S.
Ya, kita ada 2 pelabur Satunya daripada Shell bersama dengan Petronas. Satu pula daripada Thailand, PTTEP. Yang satu namanya Kawasari. Satu lagi Lang Lebah. Apa yang berlaku ialah gas yang diambil mereka di KI adalah gas masam. Bermakna dalam terminologi orang minyak ni, gas masam ialah banyak mengandungi karbon dioksida. Jadi ia tidak ada memberikan kesan yang baik kepada gas tersebut. Dan syarikat ini akan memecahkan karbon dioksida daripada gas yang manis. Jadi yang masam tu dia masuk dalam tanah dan they call it sweet gas. Sweet gas tu digunakan untuk beberapa bahan-bahan sebagai feedstock, mengeluarkan petrochemical product. Ya, itulah yang berlaku. Okey, mari nyasik ambil di tandas ni. Karenanya kosnya tinggi. Itu dah ada teknologi baru lah.
In other news, the contractor for the BATANG SARIBAS 2 bridge project has been given a 14-day deadline starting Monday to address issues related to the shortage of manpower and machinery at the site. Sarawak Deputy Premier Dr. Amar Douglas Uga Ambas said this decisive action is being taken to prevent any further delays to the 385 million ringgit project.
We give them a milestone, what to achieve in 2 weeks' time. If they cannot achieve, especially the lack of manpower, lack of machinery, and some work which should be done has not been done. So JKR has put down all those milestones which they have to show that they can achieve in the next 2 weeks. To date, there are 34 days delay. This after all the IoT was given and so on. So the picture is not very pleasing. That's why we will monitor it very closely. That's why the JKR give them 2 weeks milestone, and after that 2 weeks, if they can achieve it, we'll be very happy. If they cannot, then we'll decide what to do the next step.
To prevent any issues with government projects, he highlighted that the Public Works Department, JKR, has introduced a new procedure where every contractor awarded a project must commence work within 1 month of assuming control of the project site.
JKR has been very serious on trying to curb this sick project. That's why number one, we have our 1 month rule where a new contractor, after being handed over site for the project, they must show their work within 1 month. Feeling which, JKR will have the option to terminate them. The same also for the existing project.
He said this following a briefing and a short visit to the construction site of the BATANG SARIBAS 2 bridge earlier today. He clarified that this procedure aims not to burden contractors, but to ensure the smooth progress of the project construction. Nevertheless, he remains optimistic that the construction of the second Batang Lupar bridge can be completed according to schedule.
All parties play a role in advancing state development from the highest echelons to the grassroots level. Sarawak Deputy Premier Dr. Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan said that all public needs will be addressed through efficient implementation and delivery of services within the structured organizational frameworks.
Kalau cuma kita ni berharap pada premier seorang saja memperkaya, itu dapat. Ya banyak tanggungjawab. All this very detail. Menteri-menteri pun banyak juga kerja. Sebab itu daripada dulu kita ada struktur kepimpinan kita. Setiap daripada kita mempunyai tanggungjawab. Ada keperluan nak buat titian kan, datang itu mesti menteri saja. Sama juga macam jabatan. Ada problem, kita ajukan. Pegawai kita berusaha untuk nak melaksanakan tanggungjawabnya.
He said each level of administration plays a distinct role in facilitating public affairs, acting as a bridge to the highest tiers of government leadership. He said this at the Lawas district level Ngiling Bidai event held at Rumah Munit Anak Entalang, Lumut Laut, Lawas.
The role of the women's wing within Parti Pusaka Bumiputra Bersatu (PBB) is as crucial as the other wings in the esteemed party. PBB Women Wing Chief Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah described it as the heartbeat and backbone of the party's ongoing active efforts and high commitment to the continuity of PBB.
Maksudnya menadi yang si berdenyut habis. Betul, Dr. Anwar, Presiden Doktor. Menadi si berdenyut habis. So, pergerakan wanita adalah nadi, adalah tunjang kepada pergerakan parti PBB kita. Dan yang ini harus kita pegang supaya kredibiliti kita ada. Jangan cakap saja, tapi kita mesti buat apa yang kita cakap. Ini sangat penting. Dan sokongan kita mesti sokongan yang padu kepada Yang Amat Berhormat Premier dan juga kepada parti kita. Kita mesti tahu cara bekerja dengan ketua kita.
She said this during the PBB's Women's Wing Central Sarawak Zone dinner program held at the Sarawak Islamic Complex Hall, Cebu. Fatimah emphasized that the PBB Women's Wing will continue to provide unwavering support to the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, in ensuring that Sarawak achieve its goal of becoming an advanced region by 2030. Fatimah highlighted that the Premier's leadership exemplifies excellent leadership qualities that should be emulated not only by leaders in Sarawak but also globally. She also assured that the PBB Women's Wing would perform its duties and responsibilities with utmost diligence and integrity.
Meanwhile, the Women's Wing of Parti Pusaka Bumiputra Bersatu (PBB) has been urged to maintain unity among members and provide full support under the leadership of its chief, Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah. PBB Vice President Datuk Dr. Anwar Rapai emphasized that this is crucial to ensure the party's stability and to continue the struggle for the Bumiputra community in Sarawak.
According to Anwar, Sarawak is now highly regarded and envied by many due to the exemplary leadership of the Premier Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg.
Semalam saya berkesempatan duduk di sebelah Persetujuan Jaya Besar ataupun High Commissioner Australia di Brunei Darussalam. Beliau memuji ketika Yang Amat Berhormat Premier berucap, Yang Madah mesti pernah jadi pemimpin di Malaysia, berucap mempunyai pandangan dan strategi yang tersusun seperti yang disebutkan oleh Yang Amat Berhormat Premier kita. Maksudnya, puan-puan sekalian, kita harus mempertahankan itu. Sedapat lain, kita harus mempertahankan kerajaan yang ada itu di bawah pimpinan Yang Amat Berhormat Premier kita.
Anwar also expressed confidence that the PBB Women's Wing from all regions across Sarawak has become an essential backbone of the party, ensuring the victory of elected candidates in their respective areas.
The Sarawak government has given the green light to upgrade the electrical supply infrastructure in Asajaya, Sadong Jaya, Sebuyau, Simunjan and Gedong. Minister of Utilities and Telecommunications Sarawak, Dato' Sri Julaihi Narawi, said the project, costing 174 million ringgit and managed by Sarawak Energy Berhad, aims to ensure stable electricity supply amidst increasing demand due to improving lifestyles.
During the Sebuyau District Ngiling Bidai ceremony on Saturday, Julaihi said that the project scope includes installing dual-circuit medium-voltage covered conductors linens (MVCC) from the Asajaya 33/11 kV substation to the Batang Sadong Bridge. From there, the project will span to laying twin-core 95mm 2/3C XLPE CU submarine cables across the Batang Sadong River. It also includes setting up single 33 kilovolt conductor lines from Batang Sadong to the Sibuyao ferry terminal. To mitigate short-term disruptions in electricity supply, he highlighted that Sarawak Energy, in cooperation with local authorities and community leaders, has been directed to identify problematic areas.
The New Zealand High Commission in Kuala Lumpur hosted a special evening event to celebrate the Matariki Festival and the appointment of Tan Sri Dato Amar Hamid Bugo as New Zealand Honorary Consul in Sarawak. Taking place tonight at the Sheraton Hotel in Kuching, the celebration featured around 80 distinguished guests, including government officials, a delegation of New Zealand-based entrepreneurs, and members of the New Zealand business and alumni communities in Sarawak. Our reporter Lorenzo Isaac is on location to bring us the highlights. Over to you, Lorenzo.
Thank you, studio. Good evening. This is Lorenzo Isaac live from Sheraton Hotel. I would like to share with you the New Zealand High Commission in Kuala Lumpur has just hosted the Matariki Festival and the appointment of Tan Sri Dato Amar Hamid Bugo as the New Zealand Honorary Consul in Sarawak. The event, which took place earlier this evening, gathered around 80 distinguished guests, including government officials, a delegation of New Zealand-based entrepreneurs, and members of the New Zealand business and alumni communities in Sarawak. The highlight of the evening was the remarks given by the New Zealand Deputy High Commissioner and Tan Sri Hamid Bugo, who both emphasized the importance of strengthening ties between New Zealand and Sarawak. For those who may not be familiar, Matariki is the Maori name for the cluster of stars also known as the Pleiades. In New Zealand, the appearance of Matariki marks the Maori New Year, a time for families to come together to celebrate, reflect, and commemorate. Matariki holds significant cultural importance as it celebrates the richness of the Maori people and fosters a sense of community and continuity. So that's all I have for today. We go back to the studio with you, Razi Ahmad. Thank you, studio.
Well, thank you. That was Lorenzo Isaac reporting from the Sheraton Hotel in Kuching. We'll be right back on TVS Nightline after a short break. Back on TVS Nightline, the Prime Minister, Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim, emphasized that any political rhetoric concerning the BlackRock issue linked to the Israeli regime could jeopardize the nation's interests. He also stressed that all parties should avoid excessive discussions on the matter, as Malaysia's stance on defending Gaza and Palestine is clear and significant.
Pendirian kita tentang Gaza ini, ya, bukanlah nak tunjuk saya dan rakan Jemaah Menteri ini agak tegas, tapi dalam sejarah dan ketimbang dengan negara lain, kita di antara yang paling jelas dan keras. Ya. Janganlah tuntut lebih dari itu kita seorang-seorang. Kita ini negara berkembang.
He explained that the presence of the investment giant BlackRock in Malaysia since the 1990s has not hindered Malaysia's firm condemnation of the Israeli regime's violence against Palestine.
The government will ensure that all 2023 Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM graduates who achieved 10A and above but did not secure a place in matriculation colleges or public university foundation programs (ASASI) are offered appropriate placements. Minister of Higher Education, Datuk Sri Dr. Zamri Abdul Kadir, said the Ministry of Higher Education and Ministry of Education will work together to identify these outstanding students.
We believe we don't have much issue to facilitate those students with 10 A's and above because the places at the university under the RCC as well as under the matriculations are sufficient enough to cater for the numbers of students who got that 10 A's and above.
He said this to reporters after officiating the Concord Club meeting and an official gathering of senior editors, journalists, politicians and key policymakers in the capital earlier today. Meanwhile, Zamri said students who achieve 10A and above or all A grades can appeal if they did not secure a place in both programs. Earlier on Sunday, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim announced that all SPM graduates who achieve 10A and above, regardless of race and regions, will be offered opportunities to continue their studies at the matriculation level starting this year. Zamri described it as part of the government's effort to ensure equal opportunities and recognize excellent students, while reminding all parties not to politicize these decisions. Today, the Prime Minister also assured that the government will maintain the Bumiputra quota for matriculation studies, in line with Article 153 of the Federal Constitution, involving the special position of Malays and Bumiputra in Sabah and Sarawak.
The public has been cautioned against falling prey to counterfeit social media accounts that falsely use the name and profile photos of Tengku Mahkota Pahang, Tengku Hassanal Ibrahim Alam Shah, Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah. In a Facebook announcement, the Pahang Royal House confirmed that the Crown Prince maintains only one Instagram account under the handle @this.7. The statement further said any other accounts, whether on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok or Threads, that use His Royal Highness's name and images are fraudulent. Israel has released the director of now rubble Al-Shifa Hospital, Mohammed Abu Salmiya, and many other Palestinian prisoners who were in torturous captivity for over 7 months. The release was announced by Israel's National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir on social media and corroborated by a source within Gaza's medical community.
Another source at Al-Aqsa Hospital confirmed the arrival as Salmiya and others returned to Gaza, with some managing to cross back into Khan Yunis. 5 of the former Israeli prisoners were immediately admitted to Al-Aqsa Hospital, while the others were sent to various hospitals in the area. An AFP correspondent in Deir al-Balah witnessed emotional reunions between the freed individuals and their families. However, despite the release, Ben-Gvir criticized the decision on X, describing it as a security abandonment, implying that these individuals would undoubtedly threaten Israel's security. According to data from Gaza's Ministry of Health, Israel's ongoing genocide has resulted in the deaths of at least 37,900 people and injuries to 87,060 others, with the majority being civilians.
Zhang Ziji, a 17-year-old Chinese badminton player, has tragically died after collapsing on the court during the Asian Junior Badminton Mixed Team Championships in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. The incident occurred on Sunday during the third match between China and Japan at Gor Among Raga.
The score was tied 11-11 in the first game when Ziji, facing Kazuma Kawano, suddenly collapsed mid-court. He lay on the court convulsing as the medical team rushed to provide first aid. He was then rushed to the hospital. Despite receiving intensive care at the hospital, the 17-year-old player died at 11:20 p.m. Indonesian time. Meanwhile, Badminton Asia, the Badminton Association of Indonesia, and the organizers issued a joint statement on Ziji's death. Badminton Asia, PBSI, and the organizing committee expressed their deepest condolences to Ziji's parents, family, and the Chinese Badminton Association, CBA. The Asian Junior Badminton Championships are being held at Gor Among Raga, Yogyakarta, from July 28th to July 2nd for the mixed team category. The competition will continue with the individual category from July 3rd to July 7th.
Mount Fuji's climbing season has started with a new initiative to manage crowds and combat over-tourism, particularly on the mountain's most frequented trail. Japanese authorities have introduced online reservations similar to those on the tourism app Klook due to the concerns about safety and environmental damage to the dormant volcano.
I think I really like the idea because if you respect mountain, you have to limit the people actually. Like I stay in India and I keep going to Nepal for climbing. As the Everest, you see a lot of traffic jam. I think Japan has done the great job doing the restrictions and limit the people and the fees as well. It's a very limited fees, not the very high money, because whenever I climb the mountain, we have to pay a lot of huge money.
From now on, an entry fee of 2,000 yen or 61 ringgit plus an optional donation is being charged for those climbing the Yoshida Trail, with the number of climbers capped at 4,000 per day. The initiative was also introduced to protect tourists, as most of them climb the mountain with insufficient mountaineering equipment. Local Japanese media reported that just last week, 4 bodies were found near the summit, and they also reminded the locals and tourists of the dangers of climbing Mount Fuji. Post-pandemic, record tourist crowds are flocking to Japan, with many eager to see or scale Mount Fuji. The mountain, usually snow-covered for most of the year, attracts over 220,000 visitors each July to September climbing season. Many hikers trek through the night to witness the sunrise from the 3,776-meter summit.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Razi Ahmad. Thank you for watching and have a good night.